Seasons, greetings YouTube friends. So I wanted to use this video to finish reading the book. It's a little booklet, The Deep Spring, A Few Words in Favor of Robert F. Kennedy. I only have just a few pages and then we'll be finished with it. So I want to do that. I'm having myself a cup of cocoa, but before I read the book, finish reading the book, I wanted to go over just a few quick things about the Christmas party games. So I found, I have a hat box with hats and gloves, so I was lucky and I found a third pair of mittens to play the game where they have to open the box and get to the center of the box and eat the chocolate kiss. And then I wanted to clarify for the game, the Jingle Bells game. The cups have to be upside down this way, and the object of the game is the players have to try to guess how many bells are inside each styrofoam cup. And first we'll mix them up, and then they get a chance to listen. And so then when they think they're in the right order, then we flip the cup. And then we go all the way. So, and if they get 1 through 7, then they're the winner. So I don't know if I explained that right yesterday. And then, the only other thing, well, 2 other things was, like I said, I had a hat box with gloves and scarves and hats, and I found another scarf for this game because the game where they have to shovel the snow, they have to wear a blindfold for that game, and you also have to have a timer so everybody gets a minute to play that game. And then lastly, this was the game Pick Up the Bows Relay. So I found these 2 wire baskets at the Dollar Tree store. So we're gonna open the packages of the bows, and then we put, drop them onto the floor, and 2 players can play, only 2 can play at a time, because I only have 2 of the pickup sticks. So, and then also this game requires a timer, so you want to give them at least maybe 2 minutes to play the game. So it's good to have a timer, or someone just keep time on their phone or what have you. Oh, and then the other thing to make it a little more challenging is you have to ask the player if they're left or they're right-handed. So if they're, say for example, they're left-handed, then they have to use their right hand to pick up the bows with the pickup stick, because that makes it more of a challenge for them. Oh, and then also too, it's good to have a bell to start the games and to end the games, to sound the bell so then they know when to start and when to stop. Okay, so I'm going to try to finish reading this book now because I only have 4 pages. Okay, so I left off right here. Okay, so, and I guess we could say and agree that Robert Kennedy Jr. is very connected to his spirituality. Is what I'm gathering from what I've read up until here. So, okay, so the author goes on to say, now I don't mean to suggest in the paragraphs above that my wife and friends and the many other Americans drawn to Mr. Kennedy are drawn to him only because of his spirituality. Some are moved by his unembarrassed work for peace and the unwinding of empire. Others by his decades of lawyering and activism on behalf of our earth. Some are drawn to his desire to uphold the Constitution and our civil liberties. Others to his desire to disenthrall our government's regulatory agencies from greed-fired corporate capture. Some are impressed by the sweep of his learning, the range of his grasp of things, his habit of nuance, of heightening conversations into complexity. Others appreciate his questioning of the blind, feckless drift into the technocratic surveillance censorship, and AI. And many are seemingly drawn to his willingness to take a full look at the worst of our country. Thomas Hardy, if way to the better there be, it exacts a full look at the worst. And then, let's see, it goes on to say, and many appreciate his penchant for not talking stink about other candidates, for meeting with Americans on both sides, for living into the adage, beware of the blindness to the unity that binds us. I appreciate all of that too, but I would assert that what's underneath all of that, that spirituality of the man, is deserving of our attention and our admiration. For that is the deep spring from which everything flows. The great novelist William Maxwell said that every writer has a lifetime ration of 3 exclamation points. For the sake of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and his campaign for the presidency of our country, I'm using one of those exclamation points now. What else can one do but exclaim after hearing words like these, words spoken during his presidential announcement address? Environmental protection binds us to our own humanity and to all of creation. The natural world connects us to the 10,000 generations of human beings who lived before us and ultimately connects us to God. God talks to human beings through many vectors, through each other, through organized religion, through the great books of those religions, through wise people, through art, music, literature, and poetry, but nowhere with such detail and grace, color, and joy as through creation. When we destroy a species, when we destroy a special place, we're diminishing our capacity to sense the divine, understand who God is, and what our own potential is as human beings. Blessedly, Mr. Kennedy seems to know that the environmental issue is finally, or rather firstly, a spiritual one. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. apparently walks every morning in the mountains. Robert F. Kennedy apparently walks every morning in the mountains I knew as a boy. The Santa Monica Mountains, deceptively large Chaparral Mountains. I remember weekend hikes there with my family, various camping trips, and after school I rode my bike in those mountains in that trance of blank, ecstatic receptivity peculiar to all children. Like my brothers and friends, I was to be out of doors until 5:30 p.m. curfew. I remember finding bits of shell on my rides. The mountains were once the bed of the ocean. I remember the musky smell of mulefat, willow, mugwort, and sycamore along the shallow Auburn creeks, and I remember hearing the solitary canyon wren sing, my favorite singer, its lucid descending notes, the tune A Little Staircase Made of Water. And one afternoon, I was high in the mountains, climbing a trail on my bike, and it turned to dusk. I stopped. I looked all around. Some toyin bushes with their red berries, some sagebrush, a bay laurel tree, a few boulders, a scrub jay flying overhead squawking. All at once I felt the deep strangeness of things, the mysterious thrum of being here. Everything was so beautiful and sudden and clear that I was afraid. What is all this? How did it happen? I looked all around more, and the sense of the mystery continued, thrumming and thrumming. And then I felt, right upon the heels of that sense of mystery and exhilaration, I am here. I am here. I suddenly knew, with a pierced-hearted gladness, a gladness verging on affliction, that it was something astonishing, something very glorious to be alive, and I turned my bike around. It was almost 5:30, and rode back home down the dusking trail. All right, guys, that's the end of the book, The Deep Spring. So I'm glad I got to share that with you. So in closing, I just want to wrap up with two things. I wanted to show you, these are my cookie doughs that I made. So this is chocolate chip with walnut. This is peanut butter cookie dough. And this is oatmeal cranberry cookie dough. Now, you can use the same recipe. I looked up the Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookie dough recipe, and I made this. So then you can make a variation. So with the same cookie dough you make, but instead of adding chocolate chips and walnuts, I just added peanut butter. And then in this one is the same recipe for the Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookies, but instead of putting in chocolate chips and walnuts, I put in oatmeal with cranberries. And then this cookie dough is the cookie dough for the snowball cookies. And this is cookie dough for Chinese almond cookies. And this bigger cookie dough here is for the rolled sugar cookies that you use cookie cutters with. That's what this one is. So, so the very last thing is, this is something I thought I would share. It might inspire somebody, but starting this month, so I started on the 1st of the month, December 1st, and I told my family, my husband, my son, my daughter, we live here together, and Lydia, she lives here. She is renting one of our rooms. But anyway, so my Christmas gift to them was, I promised I would make dinner 6 nights a week, except for Sunday. That's my night off. So every night, well, I started making the dinners on the 1st, but I think it was last week I found this cute little chalkboard easel. So now in the morning I write down what dinner is going to be, so that they know, what I'm going to be serving for dinner. And like I said, so far I've been able to keep up with it. It's been kind of challenging, but I've been able to keep up with it. And like I said, Sunday's my night off. So yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you. It's a nice way of doing something nice for your family, kind of giving them something for Christmas, but not spending all kinds of money. All right, you guys, I'm going to say goodnight now, and I guess I'll close right here. Bye, you guys. See you next time.